Hi students, today we are discussing in fourth unit the first part behavioral pattern 1, the second design pattern. In previous class which we discussed chain of responsibility design pattern. Now today we are discussing the command. Name itself says command design pattern. What does the main intent of a command design pattern? What does the short statement that tells you what the main intention of a command design pattern? Here, look at this command design pattern. It is one of the very important design pattern coming under the concept of behavioral design pattern. It is coming under the concept of command design pattern coming under the category of object behavioral design pattern. What ma? Object. It comes under the category of object behavioral design pattern. What the main intention here in the sense? Command design pattern encapsulates a request as an object and thereby letting us you to parameterize other objects with different request, and we can say queue or we can say log request, and here we need to support undoable operations. What doable operations? Undoable operations. For example, if you have take MS Word, MS Control Z, likewise like that you have to do undoable operations. We have to need to support undoable operations. Here what our main intent here in the sense, encapsulate a request as an object. First of all, a sender request as an object to the receiver object. What here encapsulation says to you? It refers to the bundling of data. If you have to handling one unit of data with the methods and operate on that data, or we can say the restricting of direct access to some of an object components, we need to encapsulate a request as an object. The sender request as an object to the receiver object, letting you know the parameterize other objects with different request and queue, or we can say log request, and here we need to do support here undoable operations. Here we have to take in command design pattern the real time example of command design pattern. We move to the restaurant. We move to the restaurant. The customer, the client give order to the waiter whatever they need, like food or snacks or drinks, whatever it may be. We have to just request as an object, like as a place an order, like a command order in the sense like a command design pattern. Okay, the customer, whatever the client order, a waiter to place an order like a command design pattern. Just we need to have a cook food. The receiver receives an object from the client. Okay, this is nothing but a real time example of a command design pattern. Just the sender request as an object to the receiver of an object. Okay, here one more name also known as, in the sense, one more name of command design pattern here, action. What ma? Action. And one more name, transaction. Action and transaction. Coming to the motivation section, what does the main motto of a command design pattern? What does here it do? What it's necessary to issue a request to objects without knowing anything about the particular operation being requested or the receiver of the request. Okay, Let us see the motivation section of command design pattern. Let us start the motivation section. Listen carefully. Sometimes it is very necessary to issue request to objects, okay, without knowing anything about the operation. It is very necessary to issue a particular request to the objects without knowing it. Okay, so it being requested or the receiver of the request. For example, let us take user interface toolkit. Yes, I'm a user interface toolkit. It include objects like buttons and menus. Okay, buttons and menus that carry out a request in response to the user input, whatever the user gives to you. But the toolkit can't implement the request explicitly in the button or menus, because only the application that use the toolkit know what should be done on which object should be done. As toolkit designers, yes, I am a toolkit designer, we have no way of knowing the receiver of the request or the particular operations that will carry it out. So here let us see the command design pattern. Let's you have to take the solution here. The command pattern lets toolkit object make request of unspecified application objects by turning the request itself into an object. So this object can be stored and passed around like other objects. So the key to this pattern is here an abstract command class. What class here we have to study about there? An abstract command class which declares an interface, and nothing but interface in the sense intermediary acts as an interface for executing those operations and methods. In the simplest form, this interface includes an abstract execute operation. So here the concrete command subclasses specify a receiver action pair by storing whatever we are storing the receiver as an instance variables, and by implementing we are invoking the request. So the receiver has the knowledge required to carry out the particular request here. Look at the diagram here. Here some application is there, we need to add some documents, some operations. Menus can be implemented easily with command objects. Here each choice in a menu is an instance of an menu item, a class. So here an application class creates these menus and their menu items along with the rest of the user interface. So here the application class also keeps track of the document objects, whatever that the user has to be opened. Okay, here the application, what the application configures to you, each menu item here is here. If we have menu item with an instance of a concrete command subclass. So whenever the user selects a menu item, the menu item calls execute on its command design pattern, and we need to execute it. Carries out the operations and methods, whatever it may be. The menu items don't know which subclass of command they need to supposed to use. So here command subclasses store the receiver of the request. The command subclass store the receiver of the request, and we need to invoke one or more operations on the receiver. For example, here look at the diagram here. Open command execute operation is different. Here, for example, here the paste command supports pasting text only. from the clipboard into a document. Here the paste command receiver is the document object. It is supplied upon instantiation. So here the execute operation invoke in the sense calling invokes paste on the receiving document. Here look at the open command execute operation. It is very different it promotes the user for a document name. We suppose we need to create a corresponding document object, and we need to add the document to the receiving applications, and just we have to open the document. Okay, here look at the diagram. Here the application just sometimes here a menu item whatever here needs just the menu item needs to execute a sequence of commands. For example, here look at the menu item for centering a page at normal size. It could be constructed from a center document command object and a normal size command object also, because it's common to string commands together. In this way, just we can define a macro command class. Just we need to allow a menu item to execute an open-ended number of commands here. So here the macro command is a concrete command, okay, subclass that simply executes a sequence of commands. So here macro command has no explicit receiver, because the commands it have been sequences define their own receiver. Here look at the diagram. Here the command execute operation. The command have some macro command subclasses, and just we need to execute for all C in commands. In each of these examples, particularly the command pattern here it decouples the object. Decouple in the sense separate the object that just invokes the operation from the one who having the knowledge to perform some operations. So this gives us a lot of flexibility whatever we are designing our user interface. So an application can provide both a menu item and a push button interface to a feature just by making the menu and the push button just we need to share an instance of the same concrete command subclass. Just we can replacing the commands dynamically, which would be very useful for implementing the context sensitive menus. We can also support the command design pattern scripting by composing commands into a larger ones. So all of this it is very possible because the object that issues a request only supposed to need to know how to issue it, and it does not need to know how the request will be carried out. Okay, this is the command design pattern motivation section. And coming to the applicability in the sense where it is used the command design pattern when you want to do. Okay, here if we have some key points. The first one is parameterize objects by an action to perform. To perform by an action, let us take some parameterized objects. Such parameterization, it can be expressed in a procedural languages with a callback functions. So here that is a function that's registered. That is a function that registered somewhere to be called at a later point. The command design pattern or an object-oriented replacement for callback. Coming to the second key point, just we need to specify queue and execute request at different times. In the sense, a command object can have a lifetime independent of the original request. In the sense, if the receiver of a request can be represented in an address space independent way, so then you can transfer a command object for the request to a different process, and just we need to fulfill the request there. Okay, next the key point is support undo. Here we want to perform undoable operations. In the sense, the command execute operation, it stores the state for reversing its effect in the command itself. So here the command interface must have an added unexecute operation that reverses the effect of a previous call to execute that particular operation. Just we need to execute that commands are stored in a history list. So because unlimited level undo and redo is achieved by traversing this list backwards and forwards, just we are calling unexecute and execute operations respectively. And coming to the fourth one, that is nothing but fourth applicability, support logging changes so that they can be reapplied in the case of a system crash. In the sense, by augmenting the command interface with load and store operations, just if you can keep a persistent log of changes. So just we need to recovering from a crash involves just we are reloading logged commands from disk itself and re-executing them with the execute operations. So the last final one, the applicability here, structure a system around high level operations built on primitive operations. In the sense, just we need to draw such a structure. It is very common in information systems that support transactions, just support transactions. In the sense, a transaction just encapsulates the data and procedure is a set of changes to data. So here the command design pattern offers a way to model the transactions, how just the commands have a common interface letting you invoke all transactions, invoking in the sense just calling all transactions in the same way. So here the pattern also makes it very easy to extend the system with new transactions. Okay, this pattern, command pattern, also make it very easy to extend the system with new transactions. Coming to the structure of command design pattern, here the client the command here the client invoker, the command execute operation, and this just here the command is declared and is an extended to concrete command. Just we are execute some operations and methods, just the client invoking the receiver actions whatever they need, just the action and transaction will perform there. This is the structure format of command design pattern. Client, the client, receiver, the concrete command and command invoker. Okay, and coming to the participant section, how those classes and objects interact, just they carry out the particular responsibilities, just the participant of a command. Command in the sense, just we need to declare an interface for executing an operation. And coming to the subclass concrete command, just paste command and open command. In the sense, just we need to define a linking between, a binding between a receiver object as an action. Just we need to implement, execute by invoking the corresponding operations on receiver section. And coming to the client in the sense, one of the best application, just we need to create a concrete command object and sets its receiver. And coming to the invoker in the sense the menu item, whatever we need to ask the command design pattern to carry out the request of an object. And coming to the receiver section, it's receiver in the sense document and application, it to know how to perform the operations associated with carrying out a request, that any class may serve as a receiver. In next video we see now collaboration section, consequence section, implementation section, non-user section, and finally related patterns of command design pattern. Until now, thank you.